Welcome back to another episode of House Updates. This week we did a bunch of little stuff. These old light switches, they always make me think of Frankenstein when he throws the electrical switch. And they're not the most safe things in the world. I mean, they're not terrible, but Dad, best project manager ever, replaced all of the light switches and outlets, which were kind of black and grungy, with beautiful white ones. Nana got a second coat of this beautiful turquoise paint on the door to the front porch, and then she also painted the inside of the door for me. It came out so nice, and I just love these doors. I patched and painted some of the walls in the annex. So that's what we've been calling the side door of the kitchen, and that little space that sort of goes down into the basement. It hadn't been painted yet just because it's small and narrow and required a lot of taping. I have a Murphy kitchen table, which will fold up against the wall whenever it's not in use. That's coming at the end of this month. So we wanted to finish the long wall in the kitchen and make sure everything was ready for it to be installed when it arrives. Dad and I ventured out on one of the really cold days to get a piece of copper from our friend Carl. Thank you, Carl, for the copper. We are using it to manufacture an apron piece for the sink that will cover up the hole that we're not going to use. I was so surprised whenever he opened this up because I forget how much copper weathers. This beautiful moment was punctuated by the fact that neither of us had thought to bring gloves, and it was 25 degrees outside, so we got through it as quickly as possible. Back home, Dad got the piece cut, and this was our initial attempt at getting everything to line up. And we don't manufacture things like this. This is all new to us, so it really was a learning process of how to get everything to match. Once the piece for the sink was done, we dropped it off to be chromed so it will match the faucet, and started to work on the trim so we could get that kitchen wall finished. We made a nice little assembly line down into the basement where we sanded the rough edge off of these boards, which are the same boards that are used in the hardwood floor. After the boards got sanded, they got a nice little coat of polyurethane, which will keep them really easy to clean and just sort of help to preserve them for a long time. It was Dad's idea to use the leftover floor as trim, which is really amazingly brilliant because trim is really expensive and this floor is so beautiful. So there's no reason not to use it as trim. You can always change it later.